how big is your God? Sure, intellectually, we all know the Lord is omniscient. He has all wisdom and knowledge. He's omnipotent. He has all strength and power and authority. He's omnipresent. He is everywhere. In him, everything holds together. He's outside of time itself, so he sees the end from the beginning. He's perfect in every way, perfect in love, in majesty, in glory, in righteousness, in judgment. We all know this intellectually, but do we really conceive how amazing he is? You see, we have finite minds, so we all have God in a box. And the process of being a disciple is the process of following him and getting to know him better and better. And it's a lifetime process. In our day, there are more atheists than there have been probably in all of history. Just in my lifetime in the United States, it's gone from being a fraction of 1% to a significant portion of our population who are atheists. If I meet someone who's an atheist, I like to tell them, I find that really interesting. Could you please tell me about the God that you don't believe in? And then they'll share about the God they don't believe in. And almost without exception, I can say, I'm an atheist too in regard to that God. I agree with you completely. I don't believe he exists. Can I tell you about the God that I do believe in? Because most atheists, they're not stupid. The God that they have been presented doesn't exist. He isn't real. And they deserve the chance to hear about the true God. I think the story of Jairus is interesting when we start thinking about having God in a box, right? So you remember Jairus came to Jesus and he said, please, teacher, my daughter, 12-year-old daughter, is very sick. She's on death's doorway. And if you will come lay your hand on her, I know that she will be healed. He had great faith. Great faith. All that Jesus had to do was touch her and she would be healed. He knew that. He believed that. And you remember he was on his way, and then a servant came and said, don't bother the teacher any longer. The little girl is dead. That was too much, right? That got outside of Jairus' box. He could believe that Jesus could heal her if she was really sick, but if she was dead, that was just too much. But Jesus said, you remember, don't fear, only believe. Jesus went and raised his daughter from the dead. So Jairus' box got bigger that day. His concept of God increased. And all of us, no matter how much faith we have a limit to what we really believe God can do. And our boxes have a bottom too. You may know that it's a bad idea to go to Walmart on a Saturday, right? I don't know about where you live, but where we live, if you go to Walmart on a Saturday, there's no parking spots anywhere. It's just packed. So one day, my wife and I forgot something, so we needed to go to Walmart on a Saturday. She was driving. Just as we're pulling into the parking lot, she prays. She says, Lord, please give us a parking spot right away by the door. And I looked at her and I said, seriously? You're praying for a parking spot? She didn't say anything. She just started driving toward the door. And as we were approaching, the car in the spot closest to the door that was not handicapped pulled out, and she pulled in immediately, and she just looked at me and went, The bottom of my box got a little lower, right? It was like, that was too small to ask God for. But is it really surprising? The God who knows the number of hairs on my head surely cares about a parking spot. So all of us continually need to have our box heightened and lowered and broadened and deepened for as long as we live. And that is part of being a disciple. And that is part of making disciples, is that we are constantly on a journey and encouraging one another in this journey to make our boxes as big as possible.